Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. Right now, what we're seeing before our eyes is the market crashing, and a lot of people are starting to throw around with the name a Black Monday that will be occurring tomorrow at market open due to the fact of what we're seeing right now in the overnight hours and what we're seeing with futures and also with Japan's market. Now, what we're seeing is a lot of correction and sell-off momentum that is not showing signs of slowing down. We've seen Japan that is basically entering their own Black Monday right now, as they've had one of the largest sell-offs that we've seen in relative recent history. We're seeing big things happening. Nvidia comes out, says they're going to be delaying their chips due to a design flaw. This is going to be affecting the other big AI key players, all within the Magnificent Seven. You also have Warren Buffett coming out here announcing that they are cutting their Apple holdings in half after earnings were released from Berkshire Hathaway. We're going to be talking about what this could possibly mean. And also in terms of the tensions that are occurring on right now in the world, don't want to get too political, of course, not a good variable, I think, for what's happening within the markets. So we're going to be talking about all the details you need to know, especially with Palantir. We're seeing a large sell-off, and with earnings, we're going to be discussing that. However, I think some of the big market trends might be kind of just overtaking what those earnings will report. If you're new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, of course, just collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, Palantir Technologies, as we speak, is down over 7% in the overnight hours at 22.97. You couple that with Nvidia at 99.42, down also about 7, possibly 8% here in the near future, due to the announcement that they had made. Now, specifically, what we see with Nvidia is that they announced that they are going to be delaying their Blackwell AI chips due to a design flaw. Now, this is going to be potentially affecting Microsoft, Google, and Meta. On top of that, you got Warren Buffett from Berkshire Hathaway here, reported solid second quarter earnings, but disclosed it nearly halved its Apple stake. We're seeing indexes that are continuing to sell off. The QQQ is down about 2.5% in the overnight hours right now, and we see the S&P 500 down about 1.5%. One of the big things that we have been hoping for, of course, are those first interest rate cuts, which we just have not seen. Last week, we had Monday's job report after that brutal week, and we had the expectations and hoping from investors that there was going to be an interest rate cut. Now, there was not after this disappointing jobs report right here, and this is showing here the economy is headed towards a recession. Talking about here, some people saying, I think this is a corrective period, but we're still in the bull market trend that's intact. People are still hoping on that. That could be a key possibility also. But Apple is going to be a key watch player into tomorrow's markets, and so are the other big Magnificent Seven stocks. In terms of also what has erupted, Jerome Powell came out and signaled that rate cuts were actually going to happen. This is typically signs of when the economy is starting to cool down. Markets are expected to fall by about 50 basis points in September and at least 100 basis points by the end of the year in terms of the actual rates. You see the Russell 2000, which is tracking the small caps, also tumbled on key support, and we're seeing the S&P 500 and NASDAQ dropping below key levels. Talking about that Black Monday, you can see here Japan looks like it's experiencing its own Black Monday right now. So what does this mean for Palantir? You're seeing also bearish articles talking about here, best to wait for a better valuation. We've talked about valuation all the time. We're not going to keep continuing to talk about that. But talking about its data analytics, operational strengths. Palantir continues to be a very strong stock in terms of its balance sheet, in terms of AIP, commercial, and government revenue. We see them establishing many, many contracts. However, right now with earnings, I think no matter what, even if we get a positive key earnings for Palantir, if that holds at the 20, there is key support at the low 20s, and $20 is a very important support level for Palantir. That could be tested tomorrow and could likely be tested tomorrow, in my opinion, because this is not even at market open yet. Now, with that being said, right now we're expecting 8 cents earnings per share with a revenue of 652 million. However, with the volatility due to the market variables that are happening right now affecting all the stocks, I think that earnings is not going to leave that big of an impact on PLTR, and will leave possibly a worse impact if they do not make those earnings. This is why risk assessment is really important, especially for some of these stocks that do have a high valuation, because this is where we can see that corrections are being stronger. And I'm not being bearish on Palantir. I'm still a PLTR bull. But talking about short-term price movements, this is the expected volatility that can be coming due to everything that's happening within the markets. So, will there be a Black Monday tomorrow? I don't know. Nobody knows. But what we can see is a large sell-off across the global markets right now, and that's affecting a lot of key players within the market. So, in terms of what to expect, I think only time will tell. PLTR trading right now as we speak, like I said, at $22.95. NVIDIA respectively here at $99.25. We're going to be looking at some of the key players tomorrow. We'll be looking at Meta, Google, and of course, we're also going to be looking at Microsoft. In terms here, Amazon also taking a fall. With this, you see the market fear gauge is actually at a 52-week high. So a lot of things are coming together, unfortunately, right at PLTR earnings. I want to know, what do you guys think is happening? Do you think this will continue? And what's your expectation for tomorrow? I know I'll probably be checking the markets every 5 minutes, trying to keep up with all the news that will be reported, because there's going to be a lot of information to try to hold. Peace out. Take care. I'll catch you guys later and have a wonderful night. We'll see what happens tomorrow.